Welcome to Innovative Pilates. Just another class, just a general class really. We're going to start off with a little bit of Pilates yoga and then we'll get into some nice abdominal work, some waist work, some glutes work, just to keep everything strong and mobile. So I hope you enjoy it. So if you come up into standing to start off with, stand to the back of your mat. Relax your arms by your side, grow nice and tall, just gently draw the chin back and down and lengthen the back of the neck. Take a breath in. As you exhale, allow the chin to drop towards the chest and slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Invite a stretch down the back of the legs. Let the arms relax, let the head and neck muscles relax. And then bending the knees as much or as little as you need to, we're going to walk the hands forward and find a downward facing dog. So start with the knees bent, press your hands into the floor and try and get your chest towards your thighs so you feel length through your spine. And then pedal the feet and just enjoy a nice stretch down the backs of the legs. I can particularly feel this into the calves. It may be different for yourselves. We're then going to come forward into a plank. Now if you need to adjust the distance between your hands and your feet and hold your plank, and we're going to leg pull. So you're going to rock forwards and backwards through the balls of the feet. So notice the pelvis isn't lifting and lowering, it's just the whole body from your heels to the top of your head, just rocking forwards and backwards. Find a stillness in your plank and then flip onto the fronts of your feet. Your quadriceps, your thigh muscles are working hard. Keep the hips tucked under slightly as we lower the pelvis with control, rolling the shoulder blades back down and together, lifting the chest. Push into the hands, use your tummy muscles to come back into a plank, flipping the feet again. Holding your plank and then pressing into a down dog. Enjoy a nice still down dog. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Relax your neck and your head and then we'll roll all the way back up. Take a breath in and as you exhale, rolling back up through the spine, finding the height and the length through the spine. Take a nice deep breath in and we'll go through that again. Exhaling, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Relax the neck, relax the arms. Enjoy that stretch down the back of the legs. Walking forward, bending the knees as little as you can get away with. And this time we'll find a nice still down dog. A little bit of a knee bend can help you encourage the chest towards your thighs. Coming forward into your plank. Now you can repeat your leg pull with both feet on the floor, or we can hover one leg and rock forwards and backwards through the other leg. This increases the workload through that quadricep, the hip flexor, the abdominals on that side that you're weight bearing through. Then you can flip your feet, strong thighs, lower the hips with control, lifting through the upper body. Using your core to return back to a plank and then back to your down dog. Walk your hands back to your feet. Keep that length through the back of the body as we roll back up. Inhaling, ready to roll back down. Last time. Enjoy the stretch down the back of the legs. Forward into your down dog. Enjoy the stretch there. Chest towards your thighs is your priority. Forward into your plank. Other leg lifts if you did single leg pull, rocking forwards and backwards. Flipping the feet, strong thighs, slowly allowing the pelvis to lower, coming into your up dog. And then using your core back to your plank, turning the feet. And then stomach just going to come straight onto the knees. Lowering onto one forearm, keeping the other arm straight. So you're going to try and rotate your chest, extend your leg and open your pelvis. And we're going to lift and lower your top leg. So when you tap the toes, you might notice a slight stretch sensation around the top of the hip, outside top of the hip. And then as you lift the leg, keep the thigh muscles engaged, nice strong leg. And just see if you can find that kind of outer end of range, hip abduction. So you're feeling this in your side glutes. Relax your shoulders, keep the chin gently drawing back towards your throat. Hold the next one. And then we're going to bring the knee in and extend away. Get any discomfort in your neck, just look down to the floor. Two more. Come up onto your knees. We're coming to our thigh stretch, so tuck the hips under, take a breath in as you exhale, hinging back at the knee joints, keeping length through your low back. And you sway the upper body back in a straight line, feeling that eccentric work into your thigh muscles. Toes tucked under is another option. So maybe have a little play around with either feet flat or the toes tucked under. Work with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Holding the next one, so next time we take that sway back, hold. Inhale, exhale, draw your right elbow back and then rotate to the left. Inhaling, exhaling. Keeping the hips tucked under, the fronts of the hips open. Lengthen the low back. Relax your shoulders. Two more each side. And then we're going to make our way back onto 4-point kneeling. This time you're going to lower down on the other forearm. Extend your leg away and open your hips, lifting and lowering. And that top height, feel that kind of end range. Push the floor away and draw the chin towards your throat, finding length in the back of the neck. Hold the next one. And then bringing the knee in and reaching the foot away. So mobilising the hip and knee joint. Each time you reach that foot away, try and engage your thigh muscles. It's almost like you're locking your knee joint out. Two more. Okay, well done. Coming on to your bottoms for long sitting. Extend the legs away. Hold the backs of your thighs. Try and bring the hips forward and grow nice and tall. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're going to roll 1/2 to 3/4 of the way down. Release your shoulders in 3 little pulses where you can feel that bite in your tummy muscles. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, tuck under, 3 pulses. And then reaching up. Strong thighs. 2, 3. We'll do one more like that. Tucking your hips under, opening the front of the hips. And then we're going to continue just to roll all the way down into our scissors. Toe taps is another option. Elbows wide, Pulse, pulse, find that stretch into the hamstrings. If you are going to lower the head here, if the neck feels uncomfortable, perhaps bend the knees slightly, maybe even come into your toe taps. Try and press the bottom of your breastbone down to help lift off the shoulder blades. From here we're going to come into hundreds. So bend the knees can either stay bent as you breathe in for 5, breathe out for 5. You can rotate the legs out and squeeze the heels together, strong thighs. You can always support your head with one hand if needed. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Now imagine you've got that little grate between your low back and the mat, and you're just pressing your low back towards the mat. So you're not completely compressing your low back on the mat. Strong thighs, so you're working from your kneecaps all the way up towards your ribs. Now we don't have to do a full 100, it's just a way of pulsing the arms and counting. Try and feel that work in your tummy muscles. Hug your knees in towards your chest and pop the feet back down one at a time, arms relaxed by your sides. Find length in the back of the neck. Press into all 10 toes and allow the hips to rise. So softening down through the rib cage, relaxing shoulders, neck. We're going to come into some hip dips. So keeping the knees in line with the hips. So just allowing your right hip to lower and lift your left hip. Right hip, left hip. So the knees stay still, they're not swaying left to right, it's just a rotation of the pelvis through the hips and low back. And you'll notice your buttock muscle releasing and clenching from left to right. Keep the hips high, the rib cage softening down. Relax your shoulders. And we're just going to do some repeaters. So keep the left hip high and allow the right hip to drop and lift. So you're just rolling a marble from your left hip to your right hip. So the work is really in that left buttock. Even though it's the right hip that's lifting and lowering, the work's in your left buttock. Let's come over onto the right side. So keep the right glute engaged as you allow your left buttock to release. Let the pelvis drop and then engage that left buttock again. So the work's really coming into that right side. Notice if the hips are gradually getting lower, try and keep them high. Take your rests at any time. Now you're going to press into your left leg and allow your right knee to rise. So all the work's into that left side, and then we'll change, let the left knee rise. So now all the work is into that right buttock. Find the length in the low back. Keep the hips tucked under. Keep the hips high. Now, if fully lifting one leg isn't suiting you, you can just press into the right leg and just go to take 50–60% of the weight out of the left leg. And just gradually increase your strength there. Keeping your right leg lifted, we're going to tap the pelvis, push into your left leg to lift. We'll do up to 10. 10's too many, do what you can. Breathe. Sorry, my phone's going. Let's do another 10 on the other side. 3. 8, 9, and 10. Bring the knees and feet together, arms wide, and take a twist left to right. Keep the shoulder blades grounded. And then we're going to come onto the right side. Now you might want a little towel here to fold up like a pillow. So extend your underneath arm, rest your pillow between your arm and your head. Make sure your heels are in line with your bottom, so just check that. Draw your top hip away from your top shoulder to find a lift of your underneath waist. And we're coming into some clams. So just lifting that top knee as high as you can without this top side of your pelvis rolling back. If you tuck the hips under very slightly, you might find you get a little bit more engagement in that bottom. Okay, hold the knee lifted as high as you can and pulse. You're trying to get as much distance between the knees as you can without rolling your pelvis back. Keep your top hip pressing forward slightly. Keep the length in the waist, keep the length in the low back. Find an opening sort of sensation into the front of the hip. Relax your neck and shoulders. We're going to come into level 2, so keeping everything from the head to the pelvis as it is. Just lift the hips, make sure there's no disturbance in the setup of your pelvis and low back. So exactly the same thing, lifting and lowering. Hold and pulse. Well done. Okay, just pop the pillow underneath your forehead and rest your arms by your sides. So lengthen the legs away one at a time, a little bit of a pubic bone pressure. So reach your fingertips towards your toes, shoulder blades down towards your pelvis. Take a breath in and exhale as you hover your upper body. Inhale as you release. So you're grounding down through the fronts of the feet, the pubic bone, to keep your stability from the pelvis down as you lift and lower your upper body. The neck feels nice and long, your chin is just gently drawing back towards your throat space, your eyes are looking down to your mat. Allow your legs to join in if you wish, so lengthen and lift, and try and lift the kneecaps. So it's not just bending the knees that's making you think you're lifting your legs. You're going to think about lifting the lower third of your thigh. So hold, reach your fingertips, bring the fingers together, and we're going to turn the palms down and up. And we're trying to find that rotation from the top of the arms. Keep the shoulder blades gently drawing together and find the twist from the armpits down, not just the wrists and forearms, but actually the top of the arm from your shoulder to your elbow, rotating the palms down and up. Keep reaching the head, the toes away from each other, so you really feel like your body, your spine is lengthening along the length of the mat. And then you may start to become aware of your triceps, the arms, the muscles at the back of the arms. If you start to increase the pace, just for the last few, just to find that nice little burn in your triceps, you can come into your shell stretch at any time. And then we'll come and do our clams on the other side. Let's take a quick break there. Fold your pillow in half again, bring your heels in line with your bottom, extend the underneath arm, find the lift of the waist, tuck the hips under slightly as we open and close the top knee. So you want to feel this kind of top outer side of your pelvis. If you feel too tight in the front of the hips, just slide your feet back very slightly and open the front of the hips a little more. Hold and pulse, lifting that knee as high as you can, isolating the movement to your hip joints, keeping your low back and pelvis out of the exercise. And then we're going to hover the feet, repeat lifting full height. Hold and pulse. Well done. Okay, come and lie, or sit rather, with your legs out in front of you again. Have your feet the width of the mat. A block or a folded towel underneath your pelvis is useful here if your hamstrings are a little bit tight. So coming into our saw, reaching your little finger towards your little toe. Grow tall, twist through your upper back. Now try and reach forward from the hips. So the pelvis anteriorly rotating is going to help lengthen your spine. Strong thighs. So find some nice rotation through your upper body as you stretch down through the back of the body. Relax the neck and shoulders, notice any tension there. Inhaling and exhaling. One more each side. Okay, bring your feet hip distance. We'll take a little transitional roll down and come into one leg stretch. So slowly rolling down, start to draw the right knee in and hover the left leg. Inside knee, outside ankle, and change. Just find that little press into the knee, into the ankle, and fully extend your legs, engaging your quadriceps. Option to lower perhaps onto a pillow or a towel if you need to. But if you are in abdo prep, try and press down through the bottom of the ribs to lift. Use your tummy muscles to lift so there's minimal tension in the neck. Bring both hands behind your head. Now press your low back into the mat. Exhale as you tap your toes towards the floor. They don't have to go all the way down. Notice if your low back peels away from the floor, that's the point that you would stop and come back. Relax your shoulders, neck. Use your tummy muscles. So we're opening the front of the hips, challenging your abdominals. And then we're going to come into crisscross. So bring your legs into tabletop. Bring your right shoulder blade across towards your left thigh. Down and scoop your left shoulder blade across towards your right thigh. Right shoulder blades to left. And then if you wish to, you can extend your opposite leg. The upper body's doing a sort of a down and across scooping motion. The distance between the elbows stays the same, so your focus is on bringing the chest across to the thigh as opposed to the elbow. Keep the elbow width the same all the way through the movement. Bring your knees in towards your chest and take a little rest there. When you're ready, we'll do one more if you can on each side. And then just take a rock from side to side. Okay, we're nearly there. Last exercise, you're going to come onto your side, underneath knee bent. Prop yourself up onto your elbow and extend your top leg. So holding your leg parallel to the floor, point and flex your foot. Strong thigh muscles, so this movement is coming from your hip joint. Make sure your spine's lengthened. Push the floor away with your underneath forearm. Reaching your toes and your head away from each other. Keep the rib cage soft, but the breastbone slightly lifted. And your legs staying parallel to the floor. Okay, bring the elbow in a little more. Reach your top hand up to the ceiling and hover your pelvis. Now this time the leg needs to be a little bit higher You need to work your outer glutes to get the leg parallel to the floor as opposed to the leg just skimming the floor. Try and keep that foot lifted and in line with your hip. Strong quadriceps again, relax the shoulders, the neck, your head can look down to your forearm if needs be. Okay, and then we're going to come up onto your knee. A block might be useful here if you need, or just place your hand on the floor. So your hand reaches away underneath hip forward. Now notice this underneath thigh is in line hip to knee. Same exercise, same movement, strong thigh, and try and keep that leg parallel to the floor again. Lengthen. Well done. Okay, take it. The shell stretch. Last time on the other side. So extend your legs away, underneath leg bent, elbow underneath your shoulder. Top leg hovers, pointing and flexing, moving from the hip joint, strong thigh. So notice particularly when you kick back if that knee bends, try and keep the quads engaged all the way back. And then we're going to come into a side bend, so push into that underneath knee. Eight, two more. And then lastly, coming up onto that knee, hand on a block or the floor, bring your underneath hip forward, hip and knee in line. This leg's parallel to the floor as best you can. Strong thigh. 9 and 10. You're there, you've done. Well done. Take a little shell stretch. Have a breather there. And then you can come into a shoulder stretch. So reach your fingertips forward, your hips back. Keeping your eyes gazing to the top of your mat, let your chest lower. When you've got that nice stretch sensation into kind of the armpit area and into your upper back, let your forehead rest. Just take a breather there. And then coming up. So if you bring your right leg forward, bring your left heel in. Again, you can sit on a block here if needed. You can use a belt around your foot if you find that useful. We're going to find a nice stretch through the leg. So try and bring your chest forward, relax your shoulders, keep the chin drawing back. Okay, so this heel that's in towards the thigh, cross that leg over, lean yourself back, lift your chest and come into a figure of 4 stretch. Try and get a stretch into the buttock. So the leg that we're stretching, that's going to find the floor. This leg can stay extended, the right leg, or you can bring the heel in. And we'll take a twist. So you're rotating towards the knee as it comes across your body. Find your height and your stretch there. Okay, then we'll take all those stretches on the other side. So bring your left leg forward, Find that length through the back of the leg, try and keep the spine long. Ideally your stretches should be held for a good 30 seconds. So feel free to pause and hold them for a little bit longer if you wish. And then cross the leg over, lift the chest into the figure of four. Option to lie down or put your feet up the wall and do that lovely lazy version of this with the feet up the wall. And then this foot is going to find the floor. The other leg can extend away from you as you find your sitting bone, or you can keep it tucked in. Try and get your sitting bones level and take your twist towards the leg that's come across. Use your hand on the floor to help lengthen the spine, the arm wrapping around the knee to help twist. Well done. There we go. Feel free to finish off with any other stretches or add any other exercises that you enjoy. And I shall see you again soon.